continue your prayers and blessings so that I can continue the service.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anuradha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte. And happy Krishna conscious birthday to Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. So,
Thank you.
you know, she does so many services. The whole day she is busy with Bhakti Sangha only.
She's a full-time employer for Bhakti Sangha.
Yes.
Without any payment. Yes, thank you so much, Shamagori Mataji, for your association. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for joining us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna Anuradha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna and happy Krishna conscious birthday, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji. Thank you, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all assembled devotees. Yashomati from Chicago. And happy Krishna conscious birthday to Vinita Gandharvika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for your wonderful association. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you, Mataji, for joining us. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Joshua, this is Preeti Devi Dasi from California. Thank you also for the frosting and of course a very happy birthday to our dear Vinita Mataji, the heart of Bhakti Sangha.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for joining us this mid-morning for the mid-morning program. And very, very, very grateful for all the services you two do, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji already joined. So I will quickly like to read the introduction of Prabhuji before I hand over the call, Prabhuji, with your permission. Thank you, Prabhuji. Mataji, you wanted me to read the quote. If you wish, you can display that. Meanwhile, I'll read the introduction. His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj, Swami Maharaj, and an international speaker. He is associated with ISKCON for the last 24 years. He has a deep penchant in rendering lectures from the Vaishnavite Vedic texts. He is a public speaker on various topics of Sanatan Dharma through the lens of the disciplic succession of Brahma Gaurya Vaishnava Sampradaya. He has delivered his lectures in English, Hindi, Tamil, and Malayalam across Dubai, Australia, USA, and India. He speaks extensively on Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Valmiki, Ramayana, and other Gaurya literature. Prabhu has a graduation degree in electronics and a telecommunication. He has a graduation degree in electronics and telecommunication and an MBA from Symbiosis. So that's a little brief about Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful, wonderful association this morning, and very, very grateful for enlightening us on Caitanya Bhagavata. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Not audible, Prabhu, yet. No, Prabhuji, no. Can't hear you, Prabhu. It's very vague, Prabhu. It's like in the background.
Is it very vague?
No, it's okay. It's more audible than earlier, but it has little hollow sound in it. Can you speak? As you speak, we will be able to understand.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I know there is a little bit of echo, correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I'll try my level best. But my current home has very less furniture, and that's why there is an echo. So I can't do anything to do away with that problem. But I hope I'm audible enough for you guys. Yes, okay, perfect. First and foremost, I thank Vinita Gandharvika Mataji for inviting me to this particular program. As Anuradha Devi Das Mataji actually mentioned all the literatures but Caitanya Bhagavat, so I'm a very, very neophyte in Caitanya Bhagavat. But luckily today's verse is on Srimad Bhagavatam as well, so somehow I am saved. But before that, I would like to wish Vinita Gandharvika Mataji a very, very happy birthday. It was her command. Generally, birthday boy, birthday girl, when they say something, you cannot say no. So yesterday she just texted me and she said, Prabhu, you're taking this class, would you be able to? I said, I never knew it was her birthday, but then it turns out that Krishna has special plans of treats. So Mataji, this I hope I can do justice to this topic. And if it is, this is our gift from Bhakti Sangha Japa group, the group which is formed for ecstatic chanting and Tushyanticha, Ramanticha, which is to speak about the devotees, speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. So consider this as the cake, consider this as the sweet, and consider all the loving devotees who have assembled here, pouring their hearts out into Krishna Katha, and that we would offer at the end of this particular session to you as your gift for this birthday. With that, Mataji, there was a quote of Srila Prabhupada, so I don't want to skip the parampara. So if there was a quote which is to be read, I can read it on behalf. I think somebody was quoting a quote and I think I cut it in, right? Yes, so 20th June, so today, Srila Prabhupada said, in Vrindavan, when we walk on the street, the cartsmen, the milkmen carrying milk, immediately they will of namesake, Namaskar. Swamiji, the other day we were walking and we entered one field just for walking. So the villagers, the cultivators, they came to congratulate us and receive us. Swamiji, it is our great fortune that you have come to our field. But in your country, if you would have entered in another's place, perhaps they would have brought charge of trespass or might have shot us down. So that is a different system that by birthright, they are Krishna conscious in Toronto, June 20th, 1976. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So today we will start on Caitanya Bhagavat. This is Adi Khanda, chapter number 9, text 32 to 37. I will share my screen, but before that we will do the Mangalachana. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadanti Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantatamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Mustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishavanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitina Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityanandam aham naumi sarva ananda karam param, Harinama pradam devam avaduta shiromani. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta. Shri Shrimadai Gaura Ki Jai. So I'll share my screen. Let me know when you can see the screen. Somebody can confirm it.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see the screen.
Thank you, Manoj. So today we are going to speak about this topic of Caitanya Bhagavata, chapter number 9, Nityananda's childhood pastimes and travels to holy places. So text number 32 to 37. So there are a lot of pastimes, but today we'll try to highlight one or two of them. Text number 32 goes like this. Konadina kare govardhana dhara lila, Vrindavana rachi konadine kare kela. One day, they enjoyed the pastimes of lifting Govardhana hill, and another day, they created a Vrindavan wherein they enjoyed various sports. Commentary. The phrase Govardhana Dhara Leela, lifting Govardhana hill, is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 25th chapter, 19 verse, as follows. Lord Krishna picked up Govardhana hill with one hand and held it aloft just as easily as a child holds up an umbrella. The word Rachi means create. Text 33. Kona dina kare gopira vasana harana, Kona dina kare yagnapatni darshan. One day they enacted Krishna's pastime of stealing the gopis' clothes, and another day they enacted his meeting the wives of the Brahmanas. Commentary. Regarding Gopira Vasana Harana, stealing the gopis' clothes, one should see Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 22nd chapter, 1st verse to 28th verse. Regarding Yagnapatni Darshana, meeting the wives of the Brahmanas, one should see Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 23rd chapter, 18th verse to 32nd verse. Text 34. Kona Shishu Narada Kachaye Dadi Diya Kamshasthane Mantra Karne Vrite Vaishya. On one occasion, a boy dressed as Narada with a beard and gave Kamsa some confidential information. Commentary. The word Kachaye is derived from the Hindi word Kacha, Kacha, or from the word Kacha, which is derived from the Sanskrit verb Kach, meaning tie. Kacha is used to indicate a person dressing another person or a fictitious character in drama, or in other words, depicting a pastime, sporting, joking, or dancing. The word dadi comes from the Sanskrit word of dadi, which means beard. Dadi, which means beard. Previously, when someone played the part of Narada Muni, he would wear a white beard, and this practice is still current. Following this tradition, pictures are also made in the same way. Kamsasthane Naradera Mantra. Narada's advice to Kamsa is found in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.36.17. After Kamsa's demoniac friends were killed, Narada one day went before Kamsa and spoke as follows. Yashoda's child was actually a daughter, and Krishna is the son of Devaki. Also, Rama is the son of Rohini. Out of fear, Vasudeva entrusted Krishna and Balram to his friend Nand Maharaj. And it is these two boys who have killed your men. The word mantra refers to a confidential presentation related to a deity or a negotiation, a political deliberation, an argument, or a secret. So many meanings of mantra. Text 35. Kona dine kona shishu akru re raveshe lai ya rama krishne kamshere nideshe. Another day, one boy dressed as Akrura and took Krishna and Balrama to Kamsa's capital. Commentary. Regarding Akrura bringing Balram and Krishna to Mathura on the order of Kamsa, Srimad Bhagavatam states, please go to Nanda's village where the two sons of Anakadundubi are living. Anakadundubi is another name for Vasudeva. And without delay, bring them here on this chariot. Now that you understand my intentions, please go at once and bring Krishna and Balram to watch the go sacrifice and see the opulence of the Yadu's capital. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, after passing the night in the city of Mathura, the high-minded Akrura mounted his chariot and set off for the covered village of Nanda Maharaj. Text 36. Apaniye gopi bhave karena krandana nadi vehe haena sabhe dekhe shishugana. As Nityananda cried in the mood of the gopis, it appeared to his friends that a river was flowing from his eyes. Regarding the phrase Gopi Bhave Krandana, crying in the mood of the gopis, one should refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, chapters 30 and 31. The words Nadi Vahe indicate that tears flowed from their eyes like that. The last verse for today. Vishnu Maya Mohe Kela, Vishnu Maya Mohe Keha, Lakhite Na Pare, Nityananda Sadge Sabha, Balaka Vihare. Due to the influence of Vishnu's illusory energy, no one could recognize Nityananda as he enjoyed pastimes with his friends. Commentary. The word Lakhite comes from the word Lakha, used in the ancient Bengali poems. It is derived from the Sanskrit word Laksha, meaning to watch or to see. So today we are going to see this beautiful and wonderful narration of how Nityananda Prabhu, during his childhood pastimes, used to enact and used to perform many, many wonderful pastimes. And we saw in the description that Nityananda Prabhu, while he was a child, he used to sometimes pick up mountains or stones and enact the pastimes of Govardhan here. Sometimes they used to enact the pastimes of Chir Haran Leela, which is known as stealing the garments of the gopis. Sometimes they used to show the pastime or enact the pastimes of Akrura Leela. And many other times they used to also indicate or enact the pastimes of Yajna Patnis, the Brahmanical wives who gave a lot of bhoga and prasadam to Krishna. We also see that many people, many boys who are there with Nityananda Prabhu, they enact as if they are Narada and they wear false beards and they enact very beautifully. This was all the culture of the previous ages, where people would gather together under a banyan tree or people would gather in the open space. They would not talk about Bollywood or Hollywood songs. In fact, they would talk about the beautiful pastimes of Krishna. So today, out of a great mercy, we are going to see 2-3 pastimes which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in all the commentaries, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is writing that you should refer to this particular chapter, you should refer to this Srimad Bhagavatam. So our source of inspiration is none other than Srimad Bhagavatam. So the first pastime that we are going to see is, of course, the picture that you see behind, which is Govardhan. Now in ISKCON, all the devotees would have heard this story a million times. But Krishna's pastimes are never ending. They could give us so many different meanings and they could give us so many different realizations that every time we hear, we get new realizations. So today we will try to speak about this topic of Govardhan Leela, also to touch upon a little bit of Akrura and also the Yajnapatis within the limited time. The other pastimes we might not be able to see, but we will try to do justice to these 3 pastimes. Of course, on the way, those who know me, there will be a lot of questions coming your way. So please be ready to unmute and also answer and make it interactive. So we all know this pastime of Govardhan, who was the son of Dronagiri, a big mountain which was brought to Vrindavan by a rishi called as Pulastya. Pulastya Rishi was from the Kashi area and he wanted a cave where he could do his meditation. So he wanted a good mountain where there could be caves, and he brought this mountain from Dronagiri. And this was known as Giriraj, the son of Drona, the mountain. And this Giriraj wished to be in Vrindavan. So while Pulastya Rishi was carrying this mountain, Giriraj, Govardhan, all the way to Kashi, there was a pact signed by both of them that wherever Pulastya Rishi would keep this mountain, the mountain would stay there. So as soon as he crossed over Vrindavan, we all know this wonderful story that Giriraj Govardhan thought, this is the very place where I could always take the darshan of none other than Radha and Krishna's eternal pastimes. So his interest increased, his ecstatic moment of realizations increased, and he forced Pulastya Rishi to keep the mountain down. So while Pulastya Rishi concluded his activities and wanted to lift it again, Govardhan never flinched, and he eternally stays there even today. So in this way, the Puranas mention that Pulastya Maharishi actually brought Govardhan to the Vraja area. There is also another story about connecting Hanuman with Govardhan. It is mentioned that when Lord Ramchandra wanted to build the Setu between Tirupallani, which is a place in Rameshwaram, near Rameshwaram, from there he wanted to build a bridge towards Lanka. He asked for the Vanaras to bring big mountain tops and big stones so that this task could be easily completed. Searching for mountain tops, Hanuman came all the way and he picked up Govardhan and he was flying towards the Setu. But at that time, he heard the conch shells and the bugles from Rameshwaram that the Setu had been already constructed. So at that time, when he heard these bugles and sirens, he kept down the mountain at Vraja. And Govardhan was very unhappy. He said, I would only come to you, Hanuman. I told you that I will only be allowed to be carried by you if I am going to be in service to Lord Ramchandra. But here I am getting to know that the Setu is already complete, the bridge is already complete. So my service is not going to be rendered. So this is very, very difficult for me to understand. So Hanuman said, I cannot do much. I will go and take your petition to Lord Ramchandra. So Hanuman carries this petition to Lord Ramchandra and he gives this petition to the Lord saying like this, I carried a mountain. His name was Giriraj and he wanted your service. But it seems that you will not keep your padukas on this particular Giriraj because now the Setu has been constructed. So Lord Ramchandra said, tell him to wait till Dwapar Yuga. Every day I will climb on top of him. And every day I will climb down. Just like these Vanaras, my cows will go on top. And my cows will come down. This benediction I give to him. So like this, Giriraj was very happy that he got a benediction from Lord Ramchandra that in the future, he will come as Krishna and Balaram and he will constantly walk over Govardhan. So in this way, Govardhan Giriraj was always present in Vraja, expecting the mercy of Radha and Krishna. There is another Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya says, Madhav Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya says, there is another source of Govardhan. So he came through Pulastya Maharishi, that is one source. The other source is through Hanuman. The third is the most effective source. He came from the heart of Srimati Radharani. This is also mentioned when Srimati Radharani wanted to come down, she said, I need Vrindavan, I need the Yamuna river, and I need Govardhan. So Govardhan is also coming from the heart of Srimati Radha. And it is one of the most favorite of all of the devotees. So we all know the pastime that one fine day, all the Brajvasis, they were assembling their carts, getting to make all the chappan bhog. What are the different bhogas they used to make? They used to make kachoris, they used to make samosas, they used to make malpuas, they used to make all the different sweet and salt and rice and curries. And they used to make all these dishes and fill it up in carts and take it to Indra Puja. Indra was worshipped every year in Braja. At that time, Krishna came and asked Nanda Maharaj, why are you worshipping and whom are you worshipping? And Maharaj said, my dear Lala, my dear Krishna, my dear young boy, my sweet child, I am worshipping Indra. And he very nonchalantly, he asked, who is Indra? What is his duty and why are we worshipping? And Nanda Baba was explaining it to his child, Nandanandan, that Indra is the Devadidev. He is the one who is the king of the demigods. And he gives us rain. And because of rain, we get so much of grass, which our cows eat. They give milk, and that sustains the Vaishya community. So we worship Indra because he is the giver of our food. But then Krishna said, have you ever seen Indra accepting all these elements, whatever you are giving? Bharat said, no, I feel that when we offer all this, he has. So then Krishna says, have you ever seen Indra coming down and saying Mahaprasade, Govinde, and eating all these prasad? I said, no, I have not seen. He said, what is the use? In fact, all the produce that we get from Giriraj Govardhan. Giriraj Govardhan is the one who gives all the different kinds of elements that we need. And this is very excellently mentioned in a book called as Vraja Riti Chintamani by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in this book, Vraja Riti Chintamani, in chapter number 3, in 30 to 38 verses, he mentions in what all way Govardhan serves Raja and serves the divine company. And today we will see different ways in which Govardhan serves the divine Lord. At first, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, who is Govardhan? At any city or any village when you approach, the first thing you see is the flag. Because when you see the ramparts of a fort and on top of the fort, there will be a flag. And that flag, when it flutters, you get to know the emblem that you see that you have reached this particular kingdom or country or place. So for similarly, those who are traveling far, the first flag that they see is Giriraj Govardhan. So Giriraj Govardhan acts as a flag. But what is the emblem? The flag is fluttering. Govardhan is resembling the flag, and the emblem is of intense sweetness of Krishna. So Govardhan is resembling the intense sweetness of Krishna Prem, and it is the flagmast of Vraja. It's the tilaka of Vraja. It is a crest jewel of all Vraja. And he is called as Haridas Varya because he is excellent among the devotees of Hari. He is an excellent servitor of the devotees of Hari. And how does he serve? He serves by all his paraphernalia, what he has. For example, he gives himself to the royal service to the prince of Braja, who is none other than Nandanandan, and Vrishabhanu Nandini, who is the queen of Braja. How does he serve them? First, he has a bountiful of rocks. A mountain is made of rocks. And these rocks are nothing but jewels. They act as jewels. And they also act as couches, sofa sets, thrones. And in fact, these rocks become the very furniture on which the divine sit. Not only that, Govardhan has many forests, many caves, and these all act as very secretive, at the same time, very open grounds of pastime places. Then Govardhan has trees and vines where there are beautiful fruits, there are flowers, and these flowers are filled with honey and nectar, which is very, very fragrant for the bumble and the honeybees. And they constantly flock around these flowers. And whenever Krishna or Srimati Radharani touches the branch of the tree, it will be laden with beautiful rasila fruits. I mean, it will be full of juice and nectar. So while it offers fruits, it offers shades to the trees, it offers wines, and it offers beautiful flowers. At the same time, it gives us a very, very special paraphernalia. What is that? The vermilion what the gopis wear, the kumkum that they wear, and the different kind of yellow colored pigments you get from the Govardhan stone. When I first read it, I was very long back before visiting Govardhan. I was always thinking, how can mountain give pigments? But when you go to Govardhan next time, go to this place called Danakeli. Danakeli Leela, where the pastime of the toll gate happened. And if you climb, it is a very narrow space where you have to pass by. And Krishna collected tax and toll from the gopis at Govardhan. But if you climb a little bit inside that Danakeli, that area, you will see Danagata. In that place, you will see some special stones. If you put water and rub it, you will get yellow pigments and red pigments even today. So these vermilions and yellow colored pigments, what did they use it for? They used for gopi dots, which nowadays all the Matajis and the young Matajis, they wear very beautiful gopi dots. And Krishna also wears gopi dots. So who provides these gopi dots? Gopi dots are provided by Giriraj. And if gopi dots are provided, he also provides fragrance. Many deers move around Govardhan. And deers have a particular fragrance sac. What is the fragrance called as? What is the fragrance of deer that they produce?
Kasturi.
Kasturi tilakam, yes. But in English, what do you call that fragrance? Anybody knows? And that deer is also called as musk, as absolutely right. So there is a musk fragrance which is produced. So just yesterday, I was reading a particular WhatsApp forward, which was sent by Sarvapallika Radhika Mataji in this group she's attending today. She sent me a text where Jananivas Prabhu was coming out of a program and he saw a giant cart wheel of Jagannath. And immediately he went near the cart wheel of Jagannath and he smelled the cart wheel of Jagannath, the Ratha wheel of Jagannath. And he said, even the wheel of Jagannath smells of sandalwood. And then devotees asked, what do you mean? Then Jananivas Prabhu mentioned very beautifully that in Jagannath, there are 5 kinds of fragrances which are offered to Jagannath everywhere, every day. And it is smeared on top of Jagannath's hand and body, transcendental body. And Jananivas Prabhu mentioned, what are those 5 types of fragrances? He mentioned first is kumkum. Then he mentioned there is camphor. There is agu, there is sandalwood, and there is saffron. These are the 5 different types of incense or fragrance that is applied on top of the Lord Jagannath. And very fortunately, if you actually see, we see that even in the Rajariti Chintamani, it is very clearly mentioned that where do we get these 5 different types of fragrances? These 5 different types of fragrances are coming from Giriraj Govardhan. So it says, Kasturi kastadharine nishra nasta jata swayam kumma sara jata pura purascha sugandayanti Krishnaya Krishna Gurumeshchaya. So in this, he mentions all the different types of fragrances which is coming from Giriraj Govardhan. The musk which is left by the deer, as well as the vermilion kunkuma, camphor, avuru, naturally produced in Govardhan. This is need not artificially produced, it is naturally Govardhan produces this wonderful fragrances. And all this gives sweet fragrance to the transcendental body of Krishna. So if Jagannath Puri is having these five, then it is transcendentally coming from Giriraj Govardhan. And Janivas Prabhu has cracked the code. So that is why he is His Grace Janivas Prabhu. He knows what's happening. So this is very wonderful. So while I was preparing for this lecture and these two things came by, we can see in our movement how Prabhupada's disciples are so elevated. Prabhupada has given this mercy that they can give the most innermost details. So in this way, Giriraj Govardhan produces the five kinds of fragrances. Musk is also one of them. And there are a lot of sandalwood trees on Govardhan. Generally, if you go to any sandalwood forest, if you have been to any sandalwood forest, either in Mysore or either in Andhra Pradesh or in Malaysia, you will see that near the sandalwood forest, there will be a lot of snakes. Snakes get attracted to sandalwood forests. But a peculiarity that you see in Govardhan is that there will be no snakes next to sandalwood forests. And even if you find a snake, that snake will be non-poisonous in nature. This is a special mercy of Giriraj Govardhan. But then you might ask why there is snakes in these sandalwood trees and why they are there. Generally, snakes are envious in nature. So why are they there in Braja, especially on Govardhan near the sandalwood trees? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very beautifully explains that these sandalwood trees and these snakes are great action providers of pastimes. One day it happens that Krishna and the gopi might be walking together, and suddenly the gopi will say, Krishna, now I don't want to talk to you, you are such a cheater. And she will walk ahead, leaving Krishna. At that time, Govardhan, understanding that Krishna wants to talk to this gopi, he will release that snake from that sandalwood tree. And nothing would happen, the snake would come and go. But Krishna would act as if, oh no, you have left me and I am suffering from such pangs of separation. And the snake has also come and bit me. And that snake would be going and the gopi will see and she will fall at the feet of Krishna and say, I am apologizing to you. I'm very sorry. What can I do to you? So you should start up. So in this way, there are different ways by which Govardhan acts with its paraphernalia to bring the devotees of Krishna and Krishna himself together. Not only that, the rocks of Giriraj Maharaj Govardhan is made of sapphire. And if the rocks are gems and sapphires and emeralds and rubies and crystals, what do? When the moonlight falls on them in the night, they come up as a dazzling stage. They come up as a beautiful backdrop. So if you need a backdrop for a pastime, these rocks will shine up with different colors. You can just imagine how Govardhan is thinking about various ways of serving Krishna. And there will be sometimes golden stones in between. And when Krishna sees a golden stone, he immediately remembers of Srimati Radha, Tapta Kanchana. She is of molten golden color. And when Srimati Radharani sees a very beautiful bluish sapphire-like stone of Giriraj Govardhan, she remembers Krishna. So Krishna is the sapphire gem, is the Indraneel, which is called Indraneelamani Sannidhapamoga Sandra Surya Prabha Aprameyava Jagadananda Karaka. There is a South Indian poet who sang this beautiful song of Jagadananda Karaka, the supreme cause of the entire cosmic manifestation. What is his color? His color is like the gemstone of bluish sapphire, which is found by Indra. So Indraneela, he is such a sapphire stone, and the gopis are like the ornamental necklace around. And The peacocks, the birds, what to speak about them? The birds, the cuckoos, the miners, the parrots, they constantly sing sweet, beautiful songs in and around. And they rhythmically sometimes chirp new sounds, and they constantly gaze on Krishna. So while we describe the rocks, while we describe the trees, while we describe the vines, the flowers, the fruits, the snakes, the sandalwood trees, we should also describe about the lakes. We all know in and around Govardhan, there are so many different lakes, streams, rivers, groves, which come from all the different directions. There is Dana Nivartana Kunda, there is Chandra Sarovara, there is Sankarshana Sarovara, there is Gauri Tirtha where Lord Shiva does not visit. There is the Danakeli pastimes which happened. Of course, the beautiful place where the Abhishek of Krishna happened after the Govardhan Leela. What is the name of the Kunda? Where Krishna's Vedic ceremony happened. Anybody? Just telling the name of this Kunda is so merciful. Govinda Kund, where he was christened by the name called as Govinda. So Govinda Kund is there, and then there are a lake or a beautiful lake where beautiful boat time pastimes happen. So what's the name of this lake? Where boat pastimes happen of Shraddha and Krishna in and around Govardhan.
Manasi Ganga.
Absolutely right, Manasi Ganga. Very correct. Manasi Ganga is the place where the boat time pastimes happen. And then finally, the two transcendental jewel seeds of love and devotion, which is holding the molten form of nectarian love. What are the two lakes where everybody would like to take a dip? Radhakund and Shyam. So this is what Govardhan is holding, and we have forgotten one more Sarovar, which has beautiful architecture, and anybody who takes a dip there becomes a gopi, says the Shastras. And this particular place has a lot of lotuses and a lot of flowers, which the gopis used to come and pick. And this is one of the starting places of parikrama when you do the Govardhan parikrama.
Kusum Sarovar.
Kusum Sarovar, absolutely right. So you are all expert in Govardhan parikrama, but today mentally we did a Govardhan parikrama. We can give those results of that mental Govardhan parikrama to our birthday girl, Vinita Gandharvi.
There was Apsara Kund also.
Yes, Apsara Kund as well. There are many millions of kundas and groves and lakes and sarovars. So this is the beautiful way Govardhan actually reciprocates with Krishna and his devotees. And when Krishna said that, hence Indra never eats anything. So we get from Govardhan all these things, Nanda Maharaj, my dear father. So we should actually worship Govardhan. And Nanda Maharaj got completely convinced. Yes, whatever I'm getting in my house is coming from Govardhan. So he said, what should we do? So today, then, okay, Mataji is saying today is Lalitangi Radha Mataji. So yes, very wonderful. So we will dedicate the next pastime to Mataji. So very nice. So yes, so Krishna really said that we should worship all these paraphernalias, what we have brought for Indra, we should worship Giriraj. So all the children, they said, what should we do? He said, all the bhoga offer it to Giriraj. So they have never seen a mountain eat. They have never seen a mountain taking prasada. So Krishna, at that point, we said, Aham Govardhan Musmi. And he himself took a Chaturpuja form, sat on top of Govardhan, and he said, let me pay obeisances to Govardhan. Now, many devotees ask this question, why is Krishna paying obeisances to the deity form of Govardhan? Because he knows later he has to tell the Bhagavad Gita, Manmana Bhava Matbhakto Matyaji Mam Namastu. So people will say, okay, fine, you are telling all this. Did you follow this at any point of time? He's saying, look, I am following it out here. I am going to pay obeisances to Giriraj Govardhan, who is given. Manmana Bhava Matbhakto Matyaji Mam Namastu. Krishna pays the obeisances. non-different from Krishna. So Govardhan has this dual personality of either serving as a devotee or he's Krishna himself. So in this way, all the devotees, all the gopas and the elderly gopas, they wanted to offer prasadam to him. And then when they wanted to offer prasadam to Govardhan, Krishna said, now you should put a screen. You should put a screen. Generally we offer to the deity when we do the bhoga, we put a screen. And even in the temple, you see a screen being put. And then all the Brajavasis, they were looking back at Krishna. You want to put a screen to a mountain. The whole mountain, how can we put a screen? We will not be able to put a screen and then you can offer bhoga. And they were just looking at each other. What is Krishna saying? Oh, Krishna said, no, don't do it. The screen is very simple. You just close your eyes. So the Brajavasis, when they closed their eyes, that was the screen. And when they closed their eyes, Krishna started eating all the different foodstuffs that was found. But looking at this entire pastime, one person was envious, and that was none other than Indra. And Indra, at that time, called the Samvartaka clouds and started pouring down on Vrindavan and the Vraja area. So much so that the Gopas and the Gopis and everybody started drowning. The cows started to drown. Krishna then ran and picked up this Govardhan hill, which is the verse today that we saw, where Nityananda Prabhu is enacting this pastime of lifting Govardhana hill in his little finger, remembering this pastime. The most beautiful thing is that if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, this particular narration of lifting the Govardhan hill, Krishna ran and picked up the Govardhan. And at that time it was heavily raining, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, when he ran, it seemed that the place where he ran, as he ran, not even a single drop of water could hit Krishna. As if somebody was removing entirely the water which was falling down on him, and he was completely dry as he ran. So the Acharya says the Sudarshan Chakra was going round and round and round and dispelling all the rain. And the Brajavasis gave the different meaning. Of course, we don't have a time for that, but then this is beautifully narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam. As Krishna ran, Sudarshan Chakra removed all the rain. Krishna was running in a dry patch of land. In fact, the Sri Vaishnavas also comment upon this very extensively. The Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they mentioned that Krishna lifted, one of the Alvars says, it is impossible. The diagrams and the pictures that you see nowadays of how Krishna lifts the Govardhan, it is not like that. It is not that the base of the mountain is on the tip of the finger. In fact, it is the other way around. So if you actually see it here, you see that the tip of the mountain is on the tip of the finger. So generally lifting a mountain on the tip of the little finger is itself difficult. But thinking about lifting the mountain at the tip of the mountain on the tip of the finger and balancing it for 7 days, it is even a greater task. So the Acharyas, when they described it this way, one Acharya said, why are you saying it this way? What is the reason that you are saying, I have always seen Govardhan being lifted like this and that the base of the mountain is on the tip of the finger, but you are saying it is the other way around, the tip of the mountain is on the tip of the finger. Why is it so? He said, who was he protecting? He was protecting the cows. But the other Acharya said, no, he was protecting the cows, he was protecting the cowherd boys, he was protecting the cowherd men, he was protecting the gopis, he was protecting everybody in Vrindavan. And the Acharya said, yes, that's correct. But the most importantly, he was protecting the cows. Because the cows will not say no when Krishna protects. But the other living entities have a choice if they can accept or they cannot accept. Of course, they are Brajavasis, they will of course accept. But the Acharya wanted to showcase that the animals are more surrendered than the living entities of human beings. Human beings have more choices of saying, no, I will not follow spirituality, I will not follow Krishna. But the cows, they ran towards the shelter that Krishna was ready. So Krishna was protecting the cows and he was reciprocating because he says in Bhagavad Gita, so the cows ran, and in this photo you can see the cow is running. And when the cow is running, he wants to reciprocate, but he is holding the mountain. So he's holding this mountain this way because then all the grass on the mountain will be hanging upside down and the cows will be very easily chewing on the grass. This is one of the reasons the acharyas, look at the way devotee poets actually keep in their hearts why Krishna lifted the mountain the way he did. So this is the beautiful way he lifted the mountain upside down so that these cows can enjoy and relish for 7 days the beautiful juicy grass of the mountain. Then another acharya asked this question, but why did he lift this mountain? What is the reason? He said to fight against Indra. Indra was putting an attack and he is the prince of Vraja. So one kingdom, the Devata kingdom, the heavenly kingdom is attacking on the Vraja kingdom. So who is the prince of Vraja? Krishna. So Krishna is defending his kingdom. So when one person is throwing an weapon, he is also throwing a weapon. So then one acharya asks, but this is not true. What weapon is Indra throwing on Krishna? He is throwing rain. He is throwing water. So when he is throwing water, Krishna should throw water. So this is an equal fight. Why is he picking up a stone? The acharya says Indra did not only throw rain, he also sent hailstorms. So when he sent hailstorms, hail is like stone and they fall. Of course, in India, you don't have much of hailstorms, but if you go in US and other European northern countries, you have hailstorms and they cause a lot of destruction. They're like dry ice which fall from the sky and they are as hard as stone. They fall on different cars and automobiles and they destroy them. So when Indra is sending these stones, Krishna is defending with a stone which can even hold the Vajra, the great thunderbolts of Indra. So in this way, Krishna is lifting Giriraj Govardhan as an equal counterpart to say, you cannot defeat me in this particular exercise of winning or flooding Vraja. And then Acharya says, but why is he like a stone? Why is he like a mountain? All these answers are given. Because he is constantly seeing the transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And one of the forms of ecstasy is turning to be stunned by looking at the pastimes. And when a person is stunned, he or she does not even move, does not even flinch, and stands at a place like a stone. So Giriraj is like a stone every day, standing there witnessing the pastimes of this beautiful, beautiful pastimes which is happening in the Vraja. And this Giriraj, Govardhan, Haridas Varya, is glorified by our Shat Goswamis. Raghunath Das Goswami always mentions, I want to stay near this Govardhan Shila, because this Govardhan Shila was given to him by none other than Chaitanya. He sings, Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhan. He says, always I wish that I always get a residence next to Giriraj. Giriraj Govardhan can give all kind of bestowals, mercy. He can fulfill all kind of desires. But what favors him the most is the desire of devotion towards Radha and Krishna. And beneath this particular place of Govardhan, the boys, the gopis, they all sing, dance, and do many, many pastimes. There are unlimited pastimes that happen in Govardhan. In fact, in one of the mentions, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami also mentions about Giriraj Govardhan. Sanatana Goswami also worshipped Giriraj Govardhan. So all the Shat Goswamis worshipped Giriraj Govardhan. The Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, they also worshipped Govardhan. In fact, they predicted and they mentioned that anybody who hears about the glories of Govardhan and one who does not again and again and again repeat the glories of Govardhan, they give a warning. Anybody who does not repeat the glories of Govardhan again and again and again, they will be the most fit candidate for the hellish planets, where Yama will take a trident, the Lord of Death, and they will punish these people because they are not glorifying Govardhan. And how will they punish? That is being also mentioned. Yamaraj will punish these people who are not glorifying Govardhan. And the next day, they will come to the same place again and they will feel that this person has not been punished enough. Yesterday, I gave very little punishment. So today, they will feel that this person is a new, fresh person and they have to be given punishment again. So this punishment is bestowed or punished, given again and again to those people who do not glorify Giriraj. What can be spoken about the flag of intense sweetness of Giriraj? Thinking about all of these pastimes of Giriraj, Gopis termed him as Haridas Varya, the greatest servant of Lord Hari. They termed him as one of the greatest servants who understands the heart of the divine couple. Understanding all of this is Nityananda Mahaprabhu in his childhood days itself enacting this pastime and lifting the Govardhan. So imagine when Nityananda, who is the Avaduta Shiromani, in his younger childhood pastimes, he is enacting and bringing all this mood. He was there as Balram who witnessed this pastime. And every time Krishna used to look at Balram, he used to take away his eyes because Balram used to see that Krishna is looking at Srimati Radha. And now Bade Bhaiya is there, elder brother is there. Before the elder brother, how can he look at his girlfriend? So immediately he removes his eyes here and there, and Balram used to enjoy and laugh at this. And remembering all this, Nitai is lifting the Govardhan hill and enacting this past. Beneath the Govardhan hill, Krishna used to play many times beautiful kirtan, and Krishna used to play the flute. And this flute, Venu, that he used to play, it used to make everybody mesmerized. Now I have a question here to the audience. Many people have attended kirtan, and many people know that the mridanga player, the flute player, the violin player, the harmonium player are the accessories and all are also the assistants to the main singer, isn't it? So when does the mridanga player get a chance to play his mridanga? When the vocalist or the kirtan leader gives a specific time in the kirtan, stops his singing and allows the mridanga player to play. Similarly, after the mridanga player, you get the flute player to play his part, the violin player to play his or her part, and then finally the kartal, the harmonium, and then the singer continues. This is generally the tradition of kirtan that we have seen. So here Krishna is a vocalist, or Krishna is playing an instrument which is secondary in nature. What is the answer? Krishna is playing the flute. So is he the lead singer or is he an accomplice to the lead singer? Who is the lead singer here?
He is both, Prabhuji.
How?
Because he's singing and as well as all the instruments
So-
also expansions of him only.
Okay, but Narasimha Prabhu, why can't he sing? Why is he holding a instrument which is generally an accomplice to a kirtan leader? He can be a lead vocalist. He can just sing, and then some gopas can play some music, and some gopis can play some other. Because Krishna
But
is
he
sending
enjoys when others are singing. You want to give the benefit to credit to them instead of taking himself.
Okay. So he's a supreme lord. He should hold the lead position, but here he is taking the secondary position. But he's sending a message. You are partly right. He's sending the message that I am singing, but I want to use the acharyas as the medium. The flute are assembling the acharyas. The song is coming from Krishna's lotus mouth, but it is going through the flute and it is reaching to everybody's ears. If the acharyas are not there, if the Guru Parampara is not there, that divine sound is not more relishable. If Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is not there, that beautiful song of Krishna cannot be relished in the way Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be relished. If Sridhar Swami is not there, if Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada in his transcendental purports are not there, We cannot relish. So it is this flute which is enabling us, which is as acharyas, which is giving us the divine meaning of these particular pastimes. And here also, you see, Krishna is sending a beautiful message through the flute. The air is the same. The air is the same. But when it comes through each orifice on the flute, there is a different note of music that comes. If you remove the first one, there will be Shadjam. If you remove the fifth one, it will be Pancham. If you remove the sixth one, it will be Kalyani. The different ragas are coming from the different flute music that is coming. What does this mean? Krishna is saying that he is the super soul and he is the soul. He is Satchit Ananda throughout. But each one of these souls can, if they are resembled as a body, when it enters a different body, it acts in a different way. For example, when the soul enters the first orifice, if it is a body of a tiger, it will act like a tiger. If the second orifice is a simile or a metaphor to a different body, it will act as a different body. So Krishna is sending this message, one as Acharya, and the other he is saying that this particular soul is transmigrating from one body. And it might give every different notes and different ways, but finally it is coming from him. He is the source of all sources. So in this way, he beautifully does these pastimes on Giriraj Govardhan, and he is very beautifully enjoying these pastimes. I have 5 more minutes, so we will do one more pastime, because as I promised, it is one more person's birthday and we have to render this cake of pastimes to them. And this is the beautiful pastime of Yajnik Brahmana wives. One day Krishna was traveling across the forest and he told his gopas, look at these trees, look at these flowers, they are giving beautiful service to all the people who are coming to this place. And they are rendering services to all the guests who are visiting the forest. So we should learn from the trees. We should learn from the traits of tolerating and giving fruits and sweetness to everybody who is walking along the path. This is what Krishna indicated and showcased it to us. And at that time, all the gopas, they felt very hungry. And they said to Krishna, 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 you please help us. Rama Rama Mahabaho, O Balrama, please help us, that we are feeling very hungry. And when we are feeling hungry, we want prasadam. And Krishna said, why don't you go directly and ask those brahmanas who are there? And the boys said, the brahmanas are busy doing the yajna. How will they give? And Krishna said, don't worry. One thing you please understand, you go and ask. When you are begging, don't be embarrassed. Everybody looked at Krishna. Where is Krishna getting this knowledge? When you are going to beg, don't be embarrassed. Where is he getting this knowledge? Does he have a personal experience? Can anybody say? When you go to beg, be ready to be embarrassed.
Vamanadev.
Absolutely right. Vamanadev. He went with a begging bowl to Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj said, you are such a small person and you have a plumbing equipment along with you of this miniature size. I didn't even know. None of my plumbing shops in Walmart has this size, but you have got. Generally, they said Vamanadev was so dwarf. The other dwarfs used to be concerned looking at Vamanadev that how will you get married for such a dwarf. This is how other dwarfs used to think about Vamanadev. But this Vamanadev, he remembered that I went to Bali Maharaj and then I had to be serving him under Sudha planet. So he told Krishna and Balram said, when you are going to beg, don't be embarrassed. And this is the greatest learning for devotees. We should not be embarrassed when we are taking our dhoti and asking for begging. When we are asking devotees to pick up a book at the book distribution, even if they embarrass us, please understand, Krishna is standing behind us. Krishna is pleased by our embarrassment because we serve Krishna at the end. So all the boys went to the Brahmanas and they asked, can you give me some foodstuffs? They said, no, we are offering this for the Devatas. We cannot give you the foodstuffs. Maybe yesterday's rice, it will be there. If there is there, we will give you. And the Brahmana boys came back and said, there is no chance, Krishna, we are going to go hungry. Krishna said, did you tell my name? Did you tell Balrama and Krishna were giving this, asking this prasad? He said, I told your name, but nobody understands you. They are busy doing their yajna. They don't want to give us prasad. Right? And then they said, okay, fine, we'll go to their wives, the yajna patnis, the Brahmana's wives. And they all went to the wives. And when the wives heard that Krishna and Balram wants prasadam, they started making biryani. They started making malpuas. They started making curd rice. They started making tamarind rice. What all they made, you should listen to Radha Raman. Sometimes you should go to the temple of Radha Raman. And you should go in the afternoon when they give the Byalu Bhog to Radha Raman. And there will be a devotee who will be selling guava in the Vrindavan Noi Bazaar. He will just come inside because he is going to take his siesta. You know, siesta is afternoon sleep. He will come and he will take the siesta in the temple only. But before that, he will like to play some song to Radha Raman. And I was astonished. This guava seller comes inside the temple, sits in the harmonium and starts singing the menu card of what Krishna is going to have. And this is a song called as Byalu Bhog. And you will be mesmerized in the menu card, what and all things are there. You will be thinking, Krishna is supposed to have, I am supposed to have. All these things he is mentioning. Maida puri lachat kachori Arjuna laddu mishri khade. This is how he sings. There is laddu, there is jalebi, there is lachat kachori, there is tala hua papad, there is murabba, achar. Like Krishna is having chapman bhog right now, and that has been made into us. So Krishna likes to eat, as Jagannath he likes to eat. And the Yagnapatnis know this. So they started making the beautiful curd rice, the tamarind rice, the North Indian stuff, the South Indian, the Bengali khichdi, all those things they started making very quickly. And these Brahminical wives gave it to Krishna. They carried it on their heads and they were going. Dukhi Shandas, Shamanand Pandit's disciple in the 1500s, he wrote a song between what the Brahmanas mentioned to these wives. The Brahmanas mentioned to the wives that why are you going? What is the reason that you are going? Don't you know this is against our family principles? You are not supposed to give foodstuffs to others. But you know what the wives said? My husbands are foods. They will remain foods. I am going to Krishna. And they walked ahead. And this is a very great principle that we should learn. That there is a Samanya Dharma and there is a Vishesha Dharma. For example, this, I'll just take 2-3 minutes. And I know I'm little exceeding time, so organizers, please bear with me, just 2 to 3 moments. So this is Samanya Dharma and Vishesha Dharma. So in my young age, when I used to go to the temple of Sri Anantapadmanabh in Trivandrum, used to play there. At that time, my father had taught me some Gayatri mantras. And he told me that every day at 5:45, you should chant Gayatri. So because I was initiated, at that time, I used to chant the Gayatri mantras. And at that time, when I used to chant the Gayatri mantras, at the same time, the Lord used to come in a procession on top of an elephant. And everybody used to stand up. But I used to sit there and do the Gayatri mantras. So the one Pujari of the temple, he came to me and said, why are you not stopping your Gayatri mantras and you're standing up and receiving the Lord? I said, my father told me 12 to chant. I am at number 8. When 12 comes, I will stand up. So the Pujari said, no, this is not so. When the Lord comes, you should stand up, give up your Gayatri mantras. I said, what is that rule? Then he explained to me this beautiful functionality that there is something called as Samanya Dharma and there is called Vishesha Dharma. Something that we should do daily. But when the Lord himself appears, for example, we are chanting 64 rounds or 16 rounds. At the 15th round and the 10th mantra, the Lord appears. We won't say, Krishna, please wait. I have to finish my 16th round and then I will attend. We can't say that. Because Vishesha Dharma means Krishna has appeared out there. We should first attend to him. Because he's the goal, he's the destination, and we should attend. And he said, then I mentioned to the Pujari, if I do this, then Chitragupta will write my sin, you know. I didn't do the Gayatri Mantra fully. Then he said, no, if you do Vishesha Dharma, Chitragupta will not write. I said, okay, fine. Now he has given me away from Chitragupt. The next day, 5:45, there was no procession. I did not chant my Gayatri also. Then he came and twisted my ear. He said, today there is no Vishesha Dharma, so you have to do your Samanya Dharma. So when Krishna is not present, you should do your Samanya Dharma. Then I said, why it is so? Then he gave a very beautiful explanation. If you look at Sita Devi, Lord Ramchandra told Sita Devi, you stay at the palace. Don't come with me. Stay at the palace. And what did Mother Sita say? I don't need an advocate. She has a best advocate for us. She is the best advocate. She said, nothing doing, I'm coming with you. He said, no, 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 there will be thorns, there will be tiger, there will be different Rakshasas. Don't come with me. She said, nothing doing, I'm coming with you. He said, okay. And then Lakshmana also said, I'm coming with you. He said, okay. But can devotees who tell me, who is Lakshmana's wife? What is her name? What is Lakshmana's wife's name?
Urmila.
Urmila. Absolutely, absolutely correct. So what applies to Sita should apply to Urmila also, right? She is also the wife of Lakshmana. So why Urmila did not go with Lakshmana? It's a valid question, right? Sita said, I will, wherever my husband is, I will serve. So Urmila should also say, where my husband is, I will serve. But here is where that Pujari explained me and very beautifully he said, where the wife is there with the Supreme Lord or the husband, that is Samanya Dharma. That is, it is supposed to be the wife and the husband are supposed to serve together the Lord, that is Samanya Dharma. But Lakshmana was exclusively serving Lord Ram only, that became Vishesha Dharma. At that time, she didn't want to join Lakshmana and make it a Samanya. So Urmila is such an intelligent person. She said, I will not travel with you, Lakshmana, because you are doing a Vishesha Dharma, you are doing a special. So similarly, when Krishna has come and asked the Brahmanas, please give me food, the Brahmanas said, we have to first offer to the Devatas. And the wife said, what is this Samanya Dharma that you are doing? Vishesha Dharma is Krishna has to be first served. Because first you will serve the Devatas, then the Devatas will bless, then we will get grains, then we will light the fire, then we will make the prasad, then we will make the bhoga and then give it to Krishna. Till that time, who will wait? We are ready to give the prasad. So in this way, the Yagnapatnis had this beautiful connection with Krishna and Balaram, and they fed this beautiful prasad. These wonderful pastimes was enacted by Nityananda with his childhood friends, with these deep emotions, with these deep renditions. And we learn that this is how we enjoy the birthdays, by listening to Krishna Katha. And by enjoying and partaking the wonderful Brahmana Patni's Bhoga. Here all are Vidwans, all are Dvijas in Bhakti Sangha Japa. And they are all bestowing this beautiful mercy of arranging great speakers, not me, but many others who render these topics so nice and give the beautiful narrations of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya. Nityananda Avadatte Vasudha Pranavanana Janavi Jivita Prati Krishna Prema Padmavati Shuta Sriman Sachi Nandana Purtya Bhavon Mata Jagat Ratna Rakta Gaur Levra Chaitanya Krishna Chaitanya Gaurango Dijanayaka Yatinam Dandinam Chaiva Yasinam Chashirogni Sriman Tambaradhara Sriman Navadipa Sudakara Deva Bhakti Pradaschai Sachi. Let that Nitai God bless us all. Let Nitai God bless the wonderful two devotees whose birthday is today and all the hearers of this Caitanya Bhagavat. Let Vrindavan Das Thakur give his unlimited mercy. Let Giriraj Govardhan give his unlimited mercy. I'm very fortunate that my spiritual master gave me the name Haridas Varya Dasa, and it seems like only for this day that he has bestowed me this name. So I'm very, very glad and very, very happy that Vinita Gandharvika Mataji gave me this opportunity. So I dedicate this class and the mercies of all the devotees as a gift, because she has been the instrument to invite me here. Hare Krishna. Yadastras Kalitam Kinchit Vidwansat Purayantu Tat Yadastras Saustubam Kinchit. Whatever mistakes or critiques are there on this presentation, that truly belongs to me. Whatever great things, they all belong to Gurujanas, all of you and everybody else. Thank you very much. Him Bhagavata Sevaya, Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. If there are any questions, comments, more than happy to receive them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. This was a full meals for both the birthdays, and I'm very honored that I could hear your class today in the mid-morning session in the US timings. Thank you, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, for making this excellent move of inviting Prabhu here. Prabhu, the class was fabulous. It was really beautiful from beginning to end. Thank you for covering the different commentaries by different acharyas, and that made your presentation so beautiful. And it was a very valuable class. Thank you so much for this. I'm so glad Haridasa Varya Dasa could do Haridasa Varya glories. So perfect timing. So thank you so much for that, Prabhu. Yeah, I think I love all the realizations that you covered by all the acharyas for this particular pastime, and the different references you gave was beautiful. Prabhu, only one question, and that came towards the end, is that the analysis of when you were talking about Urmila, right? So you were comparing Samanya Dharma and Visesha Dharma. And I understand the point that Sita Devi, of course, she travels with her husband, and she was a very bold woman. And as you very rightly said, she needs no advocate, and it's very evident through the verses of the Valmiki Ramayana. But when you did talk about Urmila, of course, you said you were told by one of the persons in the temple who gave this explanation that she didn't want Samanya Dharma to contradict Visesha Dharma, but I have a problem there that I see that even that is Visesha Dharma, because she's serving the servant of the Lord, right? She's the servant of the servant, and that's the very mood of every devotee. You want to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotee. So when that is an opportunity, where's the question of the contradiction of Samanya Dharma and the Visesha Dharma? That was the question, Prabhu. I don't see a contradiction. In fact, it's the best opportunity to do the topmost Parodharma. So
Yes. So that's a very nice question, Mataji. So what is the Vishesha Dharma? The Vishesha Dharma is to follow in the footsteps of the servant who is giving the Vishesha instruction. In this case, Lakshmana told Urmila in the Valmiki Ramayana, we can see that he told Urmila that you please take care. Now there is nobody to take care. The Kausalya Mata, nobody to take care of Bharat, nobody to take care of Shatrugna. And I want you to do that. And every couple have a different portion. Like Sita Mata and Ramchandra, Sita actually won the argument by making one statement. And imagine, he is Lord Ramchandra, Maryada Purushottam. You will be astonished what she said. He said, Purushasya Vigraha. He said that you are just like just a statue or a Purusha, but you are actually not Purusha. And then Rama smiled. He didn't face this thing. So she's a very strong advocate. Same is not the rasa between Lakshmana and Urmila. They are very obedient. That is, Lakshmana is little angry in character, but they are obedient. Similarly, we see the first shloka of Ayodhya Khanda. The first shloka of Ayodhya Khanda is Shatrugna Nitya Shatrugna. Let me just pick that, and there is a meaning to this shloka. I would like to just show the first shloka of. Just give me a minute. Yes. Yes, I would like to share my screen. And I'd like to show the verse. If you see the first verse of Ayodhya Khanda, it says, Gachata Matrutam Kulam Bharatena Tadhanakha Shatrugno Nitya Shatrugno Niti Priti Puraskrataha. Now, it is very astonishing that the first shloka of Ayodhya Khanda is on Shatrugna. And it is said Shatrugno Nitya Shatrugno. Why is he called as Nitya Shatrugno? He is always winning over his enemies. Now, who is the enemy of Shatrugna? By basically, we get to know Lavanasura was one of the enemy of Shatrugna, who he killed in Uttara Ramayana, due to which the Vrajas Sand is salty in nature. But here, the Nitya Shatrugna is always an enemy. And the always enemy is none other than Ram Bhakti. You may be surprised how is devotion to Lord Ram an enemy? Because he is interested to serve Bharata, who is serving Lord Ram unlimitedly. So Shatrugna has to constantly battle the enemy of serving the Lord directly to serve the Bhakta. And what is serving the Bhakta? Bharata said, you please help me in serving the Bharatas. And he always obeyed. Similarly, so going by that logic, the Samanya Dharma is going with Lakshmana and constantly serving. But Lakshmana's instruction is, you please take care of this. And that servant's instruction is what is Vishesha Dharma, which is what Urmila is trying.
Makes sense.
I hope that has been. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm grateful to you for coming on the call. And I also wanted to, I don't know if Shyamagori Mataji will agree, but I don't know. Next week, we do have a lot of verses that are covering Valmiki Ramayan. I mean, specifically Ramayan pastimes of Lord Nityananda. So maybe if if the Bhagavatam classes do not conflict, we would like to invite you again. So Vinita Gandharvika Mataji would get in touch with you.
Thank you. More than happy to listen.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. As Preeti Vilasini Mataji did half of the job of mine. So thank you Mataji, and thank you Prabhuji for a wonderful, wonderful class. I have two questions, Prabhuji, but I would ask if nobody else has questions so that I be fair with others. So dear devotees, please go ahead and ask or share any of your realization. If you have question, please ask. So please unmute yourself and ask questions. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. It was such an amazing and enlightening class, Prabhuji. So much of jewels you give. So Prabhuji, I have no question, but basically you recite one sloka at the end of the class, na Prabhuji. That reference and what sloka would you kindly share, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can
Now or
share
later?
that. I can share that with you, no problem. That's the Skalitam Kichit. You are mentioning that, right? All glories goes to spiritual masters. Yes, I can share that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. Otherwise, it was amazing class, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All glories. Anybody else? Otherwise, Sanvada Mataji can go ahead with the question.
Yeah, Prabhu, I will ask till then. Maybe somebody else will get some question or realization. Yeah, so my two questions based on Preeti Vilasini Mataji's question. We see, if I'm not quoting, I'm not so good with those scriptures. I'm not good with any scripture for that matter. Ramanujacharya's disciple, right? He was asked to give this particular time, particular flower, the flowers in the bud form. And then when the Lord came and the servant was being sent by Lord, said, call the servant. And he said, no, my guru gave this order to me that I have to do this service, this particular time. Otherwise this flower will be, too much blossomed. And then that's not nice on Lord. So then we see, one thing I understand as so far I have been hearing that every Leela, every pastime has its own purpose of teaching us lesson, and one does not have to defeat the other. But just for my understanding, that time Lord himself was calling this disciple of Ramanujacharya, but he said no, because my guru's agya is more important to me than following the instruction of Lord. Am I making sense, Prabhu? Then that, Vishesha.
Yeah. So in both the situations, yes, there is a Vishesha dharma, which you were mentioning, that if the Lord himself is present. But here, each pastime is showcasing or spotlighting on a particular part of, or emphasizing the particular part of knowledge or a learning that we need to learn. So through some devotees, Krishna exemplarily shows that what should be the Guru Nishta. Right? For example, the same kind of pastime, since you mentioned about Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya was explaining to his entire audience how Vibhishana was given Sharnagat. Right? He was mentioning about how Vibhishana was accepted by Lord Ramchandra and given the surrender. At that time, when he explained the whole pastime, there was one disciple who got up and he said, I'm leaving. What is this Sharnagati? What surrender? What has Ram done? Nothing. He is a disciple of Ramchandra. Ramanacharya said, wait a second. His name was Embar. He said, wait a second. Why are you saying this? He said, what is this surrender? First, Vibhishana came. He stood at the doorstep. Nobody accepted him directly. Then the question was asked whether we should accept him or not accept. One person said we should put an entrance examination. If he passes, we should accept. Second person said we should put a spy to him, and then he has to follow 4 examinations, and at the end he will be accepted, and at the end he was accepted. Who has so much time in Kali Yuga that I come to the Lord and I have to pass the examination, they will send a spy to me? I don't accept this, all this. And then Ramanacharya understood why he is saying like that. He's a great devotee. He said, okay, that is the case for Vibhishana, but 4 people came along with him. Did they give any exam? He said, no, they did not give any exam. Did they give any spies were introduced? He said, no, no spies were introduced. Did they get the surrender? They also got the surrender. He said, so the Embar person said, yes. So this means if we follow you, Ramanujacharya, then Lord Ram will accept us faster. That is what I wanted to showcase out of this surrender. So in this pastime, when the Lord is being glorified, he wanted to glorify his spiritual master. He wanted to say that surrendering into spiritual master. So there are some pastimes where special spotlights are given. So in this pastime, Anantacharya, I believe, is the name where he actually gives these buds to Lord Tirupati. And the Lord himself comes and says, oh, you don't have to carry. He says, no, I have to do my Lord's service. So this is the beautiful pastimes that where the Lord would like to showcase on each and every nook and corner of this spiritual knowledge, that each devotee that he carries in the heart, the devotion that he carries in the heart, and that is different, completely different. The fruit vendor is completely not understanding the material world, and she understands that who is standing before me is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's so beautiful, and he's just coming with some little grains, and she gives all the fruits to Krishna. But the same Brahma, who knows he has come, who is the son, who has come from Lord Vishnu, does not understand who is Krishna. So sometimes certain pastimes are showcased to show about the specific mood that a devotee carries in the heart. In this case, the Guru Nishtha is being showcased, and that is the Lord's interest. That is my understanding, Mataji.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. So we can consider on the similar line. My question was actually, first question was like when you were saying that those who do not, speak about the wonderful pastime of Giri Govardhan, the Yamraj. Similarly, we hear about who do not respect Dham, who do not chant Hare Krishna. For everything that we do, it's like Yamraj will come, right? Every one thing that we don't do, Yamraj, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, by his mercy, we are doing everything. But there are people who might be doing one thing, right? So is it in the same line, like just to spotlight the one particular devotional service, we say this, but then each devotional, as Prabhupada will say many times in his purport, that 9 of these devotional services or one of it, one can do wonderfully and they'll go back to God and reach the ultimate Krishna Prema. So do we understand the similar line, Prabhu?
There is a mid gradient between both of them. The first one, where the Alvar says, is to say, if nobody utters the glorification of Govardhan again and again and again, who is the target audience he is saying this to? He's saying it to those Nastikas, or those people who are absolutely not Krishna conscious. They will go to hell because they are not glorifying the Lord. They are engaged in the sensory satisfaction, and they are doing all these nonsensical activities. They are not the Sumedha Saha. They are not the supreme intelligent people that Srimad Bhagavatam talks about, and they don't glorify the Lord, so they will go to hell. Because the devotees who even say one time Narayana, and we spoke about this in the Bhagavatam lecture the last time that I spoke in Bhakti other Alvar, Kandaradipudi Alvar, he says very beautifully that any person who speaks even once the name of the Lord as Krishna, what will happen to hell? Hell will have pathways which will be growing wild grass, and it will be completely locked down. There will be nobody in hell because everybody is going lock, stock, and barrel back to God, and the hells are going to be nothing but wild pathways filled with wild grass. Pullendum porum, he says in Tamil, says that it will be only growing great amounts of wild grass. This is what is made. So for devotees, there is no even a chance, not even a chance to see Lord of Death. They will not be seen. Shankaracharya says, Yamena na charcha, Bhagavad Gita kinchita Gita. Right? Anybody who recites Bhagavad Gita, even if he has recited once, or anybody who has touched Mother Ganges, he will never have to sit and debate with the Lord of Death that whether I should go here, whether I should go here, out of the 28 hellish branches. So here the class of men that the Alvar addresses is for those people who are atheists, who are not mentioning. But for devotees, he says it's the greatest glory because you are worshipping Giriraj Maharaj.
Oh, wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Yeah, we'll just check if anybody else. Meanwhile, there are some appreciations for you in the chat, Prabhuji. You want to read or you want me to read out?
No, Mataji, it's okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear
Anybody?
devotees. Yeah, anybody having any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for such a very beautiful, beautiful gift. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. No words.
Thank you, Mataji. Rupa Goswami says, Dadati Pratiganati. So you gave me the gift to speak about the Lord, so I have to give something back. And what better gift than giving it to you on your birthday, Mataji?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Very grateful to you. My pranams at your lotus feet, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. We don't have words, Prabhuji. Every time you come, you speak from Ramayana or, I mean, whatever you speak from, it's just so nectarian to hear. And there is a hope that, someday we can also become a devotee. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your blessings.
This association of Bhakti Sangha Japa Group, Mataji, is sure to take us back to God. Of this, there is no doubts. So we all will become devotee. I don't know about me, but thank you so much, Mataji, for all your praises, all glories to my spiritual masters.
Prabhuji, it is Mataji's birthday too. If you have to wish her, it is Mataji's birthday too.
No, that's what I said,
versions.
everybody has to be born someday, whether it's a dog or an insect, but then really, such Krishna Katha about Govardhan, and that is what, really that's a treasure. To get this in this life, I cannot ever deserve to get it. It is just a costless mercy. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and want to serve devotees like you always. Hare Krishna.
Let all Rudraj Govardhan bestow all the mercy for many, many years to come, Mataji. Very small, I cannot bless, but with the strength of all the devotees and Gurujanas who are present here, I think their blessings are coming your way. Things will be glorious. Happy birthday. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Lalitangi Mataji, and from all of us, wish you a very, very happy, blissful birthday. Dear devotees, anybody else having any question? Otherwise, with Prabhu's permission, we will close the call for today. Yes, Prabhu.
No
Yes, let us all offer our humble obeisances at the lotus feet of Prabhuji. Vancha kalpa sarvayasya kripa sindhu veva chakrapatanam bhavne veva vaishnavyo namo ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Haridas Thakur ki jai. Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Thank you so much for your association. We'll meet you again tomorrow. Thank you, Prabhuji, once again for your wonderful association.
Hare Krishna, happy birthday.
Hare Krishna, happy birthday to Lalitangi Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Close the call, Mataji.
Yeah, we'll end the call here. Thank you all so much.